You've travelled from California?
Yes, Montecito, California.
And Montecito, California is important because...
Because Harry moved there.
And now they're basically your neighbours. How do you feel about that?
We're not happy.
What the hell?
It's created a lot of hubbub, and his wife is not well liked.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
We're not happy.
Even their neighbors don't like them. Meghan and Harry have made their bed. Now they're having to lie in it. See, while the king's coronation made history, don't be surprised to learn that the reality TV Duchess's tears were frozen in Botox as she was witnessing Princess Kate dazzle the world. And then you have Harry. He was internally repeating his emotional affirmations as he watched Prince William pledge his allegiance to the crown without his brother. Even so, Mr. and Mrs. Has-Been Never Was have been busy trying to overshadow the King's Day. So the real question is, in the long run, will Meghan win? And what about Harry upholding Queen Elizabeth's values? Well, I promise you, we'll find out now.
I crown you. Give it back.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're all doing great, my friends. What a weekend. And if anyone's keeping score, it was a blowout. The true British royals crushed the Montecito mudslingers. I mean, even the coronation ceremony, the liturgy named Called to Serve, which highlighted King Charles' commitment to serve God and the people, it also gave a little bit of a subtle, sharp elbow to the Meghan's selfishness. Because after all, we're talking about a couple whose only cause is themselves. The only thing they care about is raising their celebrity profile and the well-being of Netflix's accounting department. And that is why so many people have turned against them. Prince Harry's Madame Tussauds waxwork reunited with royal family for coronation. That's great news. That means someone's on the ball over at Tussauds, and they stashed Meghan's statue far away from the House of Windsor. They put it in the back of the pack with all the deal or no deal has-beens.
Meghan, open the case.
So I've been thinking about something. What do you think is worse? That you have a hater and a hustler who carved an entire career out of attacking their families, and then as a result, Harry, who's almost completely excluded from his own family? Or is it the fact that he's burned so many bridges back home in Great Britain that everyone is either mocking him or attacking him? Dungeon experiences in London, Edinburgh, and York offer free entry on Coronation Day to visitors handing over their copy of Prince Harry's spare memoir. Ouch, that has to sting. But personally, I find the most painful thing is to lose your family and your country. But Harry lost both of them, and then he lost himself. But this weekend at the coronation, he was barred from wearing his favorite royal military uniforms, all while listening to his brother's homage to royal blood, while Prince William pledged his allegiance to the king.
Pledge my loyalty to you, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, as your liege man of life and limb. So help me God.
Your liege man of life and limb. Those final 7 words were like a nail in the coffin to the hater. They reminded him and brought his life into sharp focus, everything that he gave up for a cheap Walmart Wallace and high heels.
You need to apologize to me right now.
See, the coronation was a smashing success, but it also completed Harry's transition from royal to a relevant bystander. And then we also found out earlier in the day that the palace pulled off a last-minute coup and they got Meghan to make a brief appearance. The Meghans are under siege from karma. They just simply don't understand that what goes around in life comes around. See, that's the way the universe works. But that's why the couple has been steamrolled by this historic moment, because they thought that all their cheap publicity stunts over the last 10 days were going to work in order to steal the headlines from the coronation. But they didn't. They failed.
Then, of course, there are the oh-so-predictable publicity stunts from the Duke and Duchess of Delusion, which threaten to steal the limelight from the official proceedings. 3 big moments after 4 months out of the spotlight. 2 days apart. There's no doubt that this is an engineered attempt to insert herself back into the story.
See, the hater and the hustler, they try to promote themselves to everyone like everyday, common, ordinary people. Yeah, of course, they drive 4 hours from the California chicken coop in Montecito with today's cash prices that ordinary folk can't afford just so they can pay $20,000 for a VIP Lakers box so they can rub shoulders with the Kardashians and Adam Sandler. And all why? So you can watch Harry's rehearsed kiss be rejected by Meghan on the kiss cam. So what does it really tell us? That you have one brother feeding his greed for fame and money, while all the way around the world in the United Kingdom, the other one woke up in the middle of the night to get dressed so he could lay a wreath in honor of Anzac Day. That's right. Prince William was there to pay respects to all of Australia's and New Zealand's fallen soldiers from every war. And that is the William we got this last weekend. The prince who loved his people and his country. What's odd is right now, Prince Hairplugs and his harpy actually believe they're winning. I'm telling you, the couple is delusional. They believe because Meghan a week and a half ago paraded her new look during this introduction of a TED Talk for a friend of hers who was a photographer, and then announced that she got a contract with a William Morris talent agency, that she's winning, that they would be able to rebuild their brand and someday regain your respect. It's not going to happen. Actually, every action the couple takes only exposes them for who they truly are. And nothing, I mean nothing, is going to protect them, I believe, from what's to follow in the months after the coronation. Camilla, furious with Harry's comments ahead of coronation showdown, says Insider. See, I'm going to save my salty thoughts about certain changes made in the coronation, certain decisions about changing ancient traditions, because right now, this whole ceremony is for every British citizen to enjoy and celebrate. So I'm going to save that till later videos in the month. And if you don't want to miss out on that, hit the subscribe button. But as of today, the Meghan's chickens have come home to roost. If Queen Camilla was so bold to invite her ex-husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, especially given their history, to this solemn ceremony, it makes you wonder who's really wearing the pants in the relationship between her and King Charles. And if Camilla is actually the power behind the crown, well, then the clock is ticking for the Meghan's titles to be stripped. As the Greeks would say, she's going to squeeze Harry and Meghan's 4 feet to fit into the same size shoe.
They're doomed.
On top of all that, there was the breaking news that stopped Hurricane Harry in his tracks as he landed in London on Friday. As harmful as Meghan's actions in the last year have been, a source close to the royals tells me that much of the damage was already done, and that the personal feelings of the late Queen loom large. The Queen saw through Meghan Markle and remarked that she was evil during a drinks reception at a dinner the late monarch hosted at Balmoral in August last year. How can you not respect Queen Elizabeth? This was not only a true monarch, but a true lady of wisdom, virtue, nobility, character, strength, and honor. And she wanted to set the record straight the month before she passed away, and she had the final say. Everybody's eyebrows hit the ceiling, the source claimed. It was out of character for the Queen to use such a word as evil to describe Meghan, but she saw straight through her. It was a startling sentence to hear from the most forgiving woman on earth. Now, it's really up to you to decide. Do you trust the writer source from The Spectator? Because personally, for me, I 100% agree with that statement. I mean, if you put everything in context, like I said, it was a month before the late Queen Elizabeth passed. She had watched her family being almost shoved into a woodchopper for years by the grandson that she had loved and adored. Maybe these alleged comments are true. Maybe she finally had it out, wanted to share it with some people. But on top of that, we actually heard from King Charles's best friend since childhood, the grandson of Sir Winston Churchill, Nicholas Soames, and his take on half-wit Harry's actions due to his wannabe Hollywood casting couch queen.
Well, in respect to Prince Harry, I just think it's the most tragic. I mean, I can't put myself in the position where my own son, if he did something like that to me, it would just be the cruelest, and one would mind.
But we can be really thankful that Queen Elizabeth never got to hear anything that Harry said in spare.
My penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
How's your penis? Doing great?
As a matter of fact, she was truly lucky never having to witness her grandson attack her son during this coronation period. Prince Harry Tampongate statement suggests desire to humiliate Charles. Now, I don't know what kind of son would shotgun blast these horrible words against his dad, who's given him everything. Well, what did the Meghans do? You have the Montecito manipulators. They tried to smear everyone, steal the headlines, when all the while the royal family opened their arms and made everyone feel welcome.
It's a great joy to see you again. And I hope the Lord would remember.
Are you nervous for tomorrow?
It's a bit late to be, isn't it?
Thank you so much. It's very sweet of you to bring the heat here. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh no, so right. I'm so grateful that everyone's come to say hi as well.
That's how it's done, with love and respect and service and duty to your country and people. That is beautiful. I mean, come on. When was the last time you saw Duchess Doreen, if ever, run towards somebody just to thank him who wasn't useful as a boost to her career? Never. The royal family is right now upholding all of Queen Elizabeth's values, unlike Harry, who's proven he's not a man of his word. With the Queen's blessing, the Sussexes have made clear that everything they do will continue to uphold the values of Her Majesty. So do you think that Harry and Meghan actually upheld any of the Queen's values? Because I don't. I mean, their character is flawed to the foundation of their floors. The Queen's values that she espoused were the ones that could get you through good times and bad times. Like if you were having the best day ever in the world, you felt like it was in the cup of your hand, it made sure that your head didn't get too big. If you were having your darkest moments, it made sure that your heart pumped like a lion. You didn't give up, you didn't get crushed, but you never betrayed your honor, your word, or your character. Talking about that, look at Princess Anne, 72 years old. What an example. She worked last year 214 royal engagements without any complaint, just smiles. The coronation was no different. She rode in the procession. She was acting as the king's personal bodyguard and held the role of the golden stick in waiting. That is love. That is loyalty to family. That is true royalty, because the cream always rises to the top.
But I subscribe to George
The giant Slayer.
Do it!
Do it. Do it.
Now I'm going to continue breaking down the coronation, everything that's going on in front and behind the scenes. And we're going to look at Walmart Wallace and if she has anything up her sleeve, any cheap trick she's going to try to pull in the next few days. So if you don't want to miss out, hit the subscribe button, push the notification bell, and share your thoughts and questions in the comments down below. And let me know, what do you think Meghan is going to pull off next? And remember that we never bow down, we never bend the knee. Always forward.